Hi everyone, so I wanted to make a video on the importance of strengthening your aura. I think this is one of the most overlooked yet vital parts of being a spiritually aligned and spiritually strong person. A lot of people, when they first start their path or their spiritual awakening or ascension, they complain about being not wanting to be in public or around crowds, or just feeling overwhelmed with emotions or energies and not knowing how to deal with it. And I feel like 9 times out of 10 it can be related to the strength of your aura. A lot of people might doubt if there really is such a thing as an aura, and what is it really? Really, an aura is just your electromagnetic field, and the reason people talk about different colors of your aura and different things, seeing different things in your aura, is because just like in the electromagnetic spectrum, there's a range of colors. Like if you look in a prism, there's the whole rainbow range of colors. We emit those same frequencies, and at different times with different feelings and emotions and states of life you're going through, you will have one or two more dominant colors than the other colors in your aura. That's why people say like, oh, he had an orange aura, or like she looks like she has a green aura. People really can read auras. Most of the time it's done by just gazing at the periphery of a person, kind of in a soft gaze, and training your eye to look at those sort of like peripheral colors. And really anybody can do it. The strength of your aura will reflect the strength of your magnetism, because it's just a frequency of electromagnetism. So people who have really big auras tend to be very magnetic. So people who attract a lot of attention, like celebrities or politicians in general, they radiate power and magnetism. Jesus Christ was said to have an aura that radiated 25 miles out or something like that. Your emotions, your thoughts, and your feelings all contribute to the strength and the size of your aura. Also, the environments and the habits you cultivate. If you have a weak aura, you'll know, because you won't want to be around certain things. You'll be very easily triggered. You'll feel like you can't handle certain situations. Whereas if you have a strong aura, you feel like you are radiating energy out and you can influence the energy around you, as opposed to like taking things on. Your aura can basically have different sort of things going on. There could be holes in your aura, there could be dark spots, there could be cords, and it's possible to feel what's going on with your aura just by practicing looking at it with your mind's eye. So it might feel kind of like you're making it up, but you're just sort of like tuning in and feeling into that reality beyond physical sight. And the more you practice this, just seeing with your mind's eye and feeling what your aura feels like and where it might need repair, the stronger that ability you'll have, and you'll know what's going on in your personal space, in your psychic space. This can also be something that you cultivate not only like in person and in groups or with people one-on-one, but remotely. Like you'll feel if there's energy interacting in your field or in your aura. Some of the things that can contribute to a weak aura are hanging out in environments that are of a low vibration. Places where there's a lot of alcohol or drugs, or in general, where it's not a positive, uplifting environment, your environment tends to imprint on you. So if you're in a toxic place or a dysfunctional sort of environment, you would definitely have to stay away from that as much as you can and build your auric strength in order to withstand those types of environments. There's different habits as well that contribute to a weak aura. When people drink and do drugs, the reason it creates a low vibration is because you're not fully conscious, like you're not in your body. Pretty much we call alcohol spirits because it actually has a spirit of its own. Different substances, different drugs, alcohol, things like that, they have their own spirit to them. So when you imbibe and like take on these substances, they take a space in your body and therefore deplete your life force energy. So your energy kind of leaves your aura and you're allowing another energy in, so it creates a lower vibrational state. You don't want to hang out in places where there's negative people, drugs and alcohol, negative activity of any kind, you know, anything that's just not joyful. And at the same time, you want to be where it's bright and natural, where it's more conducive to nature and where there's more negative ions. So if you spend a lot of time in places where there's artificial lighting or electromagnetic frequencies, like you're around people, like a bunch of people on their cell phones or Wi-Fi, all that stuff weakens the auric fields because it's all electricity and frequencies interacting. So a few ways you can easily rebuild your auric strength is paying attention to your diet and what you're eating. So if you eat foods of a high frequency, like fruits and vegetables and minerals and vitamins and stuff like that, it raises your frequency because they're foods and they resonate at high frequency, so they bring your frequency up. And you can also spend time around more negative ions and away from the EMFs. So there's a reason, you know, like surfers and people love going to the beach because all those negative ions help rebuild your auric strength, whereas the positive ions from like the artificial electricity weakens the aura. Being in sunlight is one of the most powerful ways. It's why I talk a lot about the sun. It's so underrated, but so powerful, and it helps us so much more than we think. It's a life-giving force. So if you think of how the sun literally grows life in plants and stuff like that, you'll understand why we need that sunlight as well. Like it gives life to everything. It's one of the root sources of our life here on earth. So being in sunlight, very important. If you pay attention when someone's depressed or down, you know, feeling blue, like they don't want to be outside. They usually go inside and want to pull their curtains down and be alone in the dark because they want to sort of sit in those dark emotions. If you were to be in sunlight, it would be very hard to nurture those lower frequencies. In general, lower frequency vibrations resonate with darker colors. Not necessarily saying dark colors like black or whatever are negative, but they're generally darker colors resonate with the lower frequencies, whereas lighter colors like yellows and whites and like lighter hues resonate with higher frequencies, and just light, they're more light. Just the way you take them in, you can feel and see that. Most of all, I would recommend having a daily practice of observing and strengthening your aura. So every morning and every evening, you want to, with your mind's eye, see what your aura is looking like, if there's any holes or anything, and just you can use your hands or like use your energy to clear it out. And you visualize using the visual faculty, which is very powerful. You visualize clearing your aura out, and in that way you kind of maintain this like power over your personal space. You're not just like being a floating energy at random. You're commanding the space that you're in and what's allowed in and out. Most of the time when you ask people how to strengthen your aura, they tell you like, okay, just visualize a white light or whatever. That's not the only way to strengthen your aura. I took some time to put together 11 very powerful meditations inspired by Tantra, occult, and Kundalini yoga. I'll put them in the link in the description below. If you practice these exercises, you will definitely have a much easier time working with and having a strong aura. You strengthen your aura a lot more than just using the white light. So I'm gonna put that in the description box below. Other than that, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please press the like button, subscribe for more content like this, and leave a comment if you have an interesting story regarding your aura.